I want to thank you for your time. To all our audience, this is Mrs. Sheyi, the General Manager of Clean Ace. Thank you for joining us on this session today. I know you are quite busy. And today we'll be learning a lot from your experiences. We understand that for over about 10, 11 years now, we've been with Clean Ace and God has helped you to grow to this level. So we want to learn from your wealth of experience. And I believe it's going to be an impactful session. To all our audience all over, we hope you will learn something from this. And it's going to be actually a transformative session for us. Thank you once again for coming live to our podcast. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's quickly know, in case you are here with us, please, if you're joining us from YouTube, let's quickly know how many people are joining us live on YouTube. If we have anybody joining us on YouTube, let's quickly just see the people so that we can quickly just acknowledge one or two people before we move into the session proper. Is there anyone on YouTube right now? Okay, Mr. Ima, thank you very much for joining us. I'm also here to learn myself. So not just to do this section. So I came with my book and my Bible. So please, for all of you joining us now, please, I want to encourage you to please get your Bible and your paper, your pen, and your notebook, and just take, we're going to have a lot of nuggets here and a lot of words of wisdom that can actually impact all our audience. This is a space for entrepreneurs, and dream chasers. So we believe you will learn something impactful from this session. All right, Madam Sheyi, quickly, let me ask you this. Let's start with this section, please. What is the early life? What is one of early life or early career experiences that shaped the woman you are today? What were the experiences that shaped you to what you are today, ma? Let's start with that.
Okay. That's getting me thinking. One of the experiences that shaped me. Okay. So first of all, I think I would I'm one who is very particular about family. Okay. I'm the last born of 4 children.
Right.
And you know, I have seen my elder ones turn out to be very diligent and inspiring people. And also my parents, my father of blessed memory, very hardworking man he was while on earth, and my mom. So, you know, I had grown to see them work as very hardworking, intentional people. You know, so I have a lot of people to look up to, you get, and of course, it will not add up for me to be any different from my upbringing. You know, so I think that's one major thing. Family, the family line, that's one major thing that has that I've held in high esteem with respect to myself, my life, my growth, my career. You know, so basically I think that's that for me.
All right, thank you very, very much. So basically it's your upbringing, your family background that actually shaped you to what you are today. Thank you. Okay, let's quickly come back to your career. Now, what was there a moment you felt stuck in your career when you newly started as a new entry? Was there a moment you felt stuck? And what were the experiences that made you able to actually pivot within the process? Was there ever a time you felt stuck at the point in time in your career?
So the word stuck is very relative.
Yeah.
It could mean anything. And it means different things to different people. For some people, for me, for example, being stuck is like my own definition of it's time to grow into something else or something more. One understanding I have got is I can't remember where I read this, but I think it was a video, and it seemed like there was a fish in a bowl, a glass bowl, and it just seemed to wriggle around and, be stuck, and it just appeared like the bowl was just not enough for it. For in that video, it appeared like, oh, this fish needs a bigger bowl. Now, a bigger bowl may not necessarily be a different organization. It may be a higher role. It may be something more. It may be like, oh, I have understood this particular level where I am. I know the in and outs, and I need something higher. You understand? So that's why I said stuck could be very relative. I have felt stuck, thinking, I think I want to do more. I have much more to give than just this level. I want to move on to the next level. Yes, that's my definition of stuck. And from my first level cadre in Cleanest, at some point I had to keep moving. And of course, I'm sure we'll get into that in the course of the interview, but yes, that is what being stuck means to me. Not being stuck in the organization like, oh, I'm fed up of this whole place. No. My own type of stuck was I can give more than what I'm giving now. And I need that opportunity to give more. Thank you.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I think that is something I've actually learned something from that session. To all of you watching us live on YouTube or Facebook, I hope we are learning. Okay. What is one truth about rising in your career that nobody told you early, but you had to learn it the hard way when you started? One truth in your career that nobody told you you have to learn the hard way. Can you remember any situation like that? One truth in your career that nobody told you about you have to learn the hard way?
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure, but I know that naturally I'm not one to. I'm okay. So one thing I know that I have learned, it's not like it's a hard thing, but I've learned that there's always a way. In whatever situation you find yourself, there's always a way. And in my organization, I learned that, and it's almost like I keep learning, or that knowledge keeps springing up at every time. So no matter the situation we find ourselves, on whatever teams, whatever departments, whatever situation we find ourselves, there's always that learning, that knowledge at the end of the tunnel, that light at the end of the tunnel, like there's always a way. So you would always come out of what might seem like hard right now. You would always come out of it. So one thing I keep saying to my teams, one thing I know that I have learned is there is always a way. Yeah, it's normal to hear, oh, God will make a way. People say it, but when you experience it, it's different. The sentence sounds just totally different when you experience it. So I have always known that, yeah, God will make a way. I mean, we sing it, but there is always a way out. There's always a way. So that's one key thing I have held on to so far.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, ma'am. Basically, I think we need to. I'm not even taking my notes anymore. I want to ask you questions that can actually benefit our audience. Because our target audience is actually 18 to 40 years. Now, man, I want to ask you this. Now, considering young people, young graduates or young entry people that just graduated and probably trying to join an organization, and they felt, look, it will take me a while for me to be able to climb to the level you have gotten to now. Now, based on your experience, what will be your advice to people like that? Look, I can't be patient enough to wait for this long. I need to pivot or probably maybe jump to the next organization that actually probably pay more. There are more opportunities. We see a lot of graduates now moving from this organization to the next because of high pay or because of promotion incentives here and there. So for you, based on your experience, what do you think you can advise our audience?
Okay. So the real truth is the first thing is you have to learn before you lead. The truth is there's no shortcut.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut. You have to learn before you lead, because you cannot be leading people for example, you want to tackle a particular situation, you want to bring about a particular solution in a particular department in your organization, and you have no clue of what happens in that organization, in that department, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like you're armless. You have nothing to guide them. It's just like we hear of dogs leading lions. If you hear that a dog is leading a lion, you can imagine what those lions will turn out to be. Rather, you hear of a lion leading dogs. Those dogs will turn out to be roaring lions, you understand? So if you do not learn before you're able to lead, there will be a problem. It will show there will be a gap. So it's not automatic. And you have to be able to serve. You have to be able to serve. We are called to serve. It is not until someone serves you. You first of all start. Be the example. Be willing to serve. And then build the character. It's not, owners of businesses, CEOs will not just select you with anyhow, for lack of better words, anyhow kind of character. You need to build a character that they can also reckon with. People, would look and say, would I be able to hand my organization to the hands of this kind of person? Be the kind of person that, should be in such a position. Build that character. One other key thing for me is you have to be consistent, even in the little things. The Bible tells us, if you're faithful in little, you'll be faithful in much. So be very consistent in the little things. Again, it is not automatic. Some of these things are built over years, over time. So you have to be consistent. Don't start today and then you stop tomorrow. Keep at it. Keep at it. Then you must be teachable, because there's always something to learn. Every single day, stay teachable, be teachable. And sometimes you have to, one thing that I think the second to the last thing I want to say now is value your growth. That's you growing over your comforts. So I give an example. I remember when I first started at Cleanest, I was posted to a branch in Festac. And for me, for the organization thought that Festac was closer to me, closer to home, because at the time I stayed in towards Yanoba. If I don't know how many people know that area, so they actually thought that, this is close to you in Lagos. Why not just go to the Festac outlet? And I was and for me, I wasn't even thinking comforts. I was thinking of, okay, where can I grow? Where will it be evident that I have learned a thing or two and I can grow through the ranks? Where would it be? I don't care about whatever discomfort I'm going to go through. I just want to move and I just want to grow. And as God will have it, different things happen. And I just found myself going back to the head office to say, you know what, please, I don't mind. You can send me somewhere else, but don't send me to Festac. I don't need my comfort zone. I need somewhere where, I will put in my work. Send me. Even if it's going to be somewhere that is way far, send me. So think about your growth first before comforts. Many of us tend to do the opposite. I want to be comfortable. I want a life. I want to live soft girl life. Not necessarily. Think about your growth. Think long term and not just short term. And just uphold your values. Whatever values you live by, just uphold them. Nothing in this life is automatic. You have to put in the work.
That's true.
Thank you.
Nothing in this life is automatic. You need to put in the work. Thank you. I think that is a word of wisdom. Nothing in this life is automatic. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm actually learning from you. I think I'm in another master class. To all our viewers on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, please, nothing in this life is automatic. You need to put in the work. Thank you. That is great. That is great. All right, quickly. Now, for young people, I'm actually particular about the young people because, our focus majorly is within the ages of 18 to 40, entrepreneurs, and dream chasers. So these people, for you have the patience to put in the work. But for some people, they felt, how will I spend 10, 11 years in an organization? Why will not, at least I've got enough experience, I've got enough exposure. What I thought to just go and start my own and become my own boss? Have you ever thought of something like that before? Must everybody be a boss? Okay, must everybody be a founder?
Okay. So everybody doesn't have to be a founder, you know.
Okay.
A founder is the one with the vision. A founder is the driver of the vehicle. The founder knows where he's taking that vehicle, that organization to. And then, there are people who support that vision. You cannot do it all by yourself. We learn every day that we need relationships, we need people. So you might be the founder, you have the vision, and then there will be the people who will implement that vision. So yeah, everybody wants to be a CEO, everybody wants to lead, but not everybody is ready for it. And it's better to not start a thing if you know you will not be able to finish it or complete it. So why not get yourself fully equipped and better prepared, and then if you are led, if it is the will of God for you to be led to own your own organization and be a CEO or a founder, then fine. However, you're going to need people to help you carry out that vision, that goal, that purpose. So if everybody was going to be a CEO, then who's going to be working with other people? So, but one thing is sure, if you have not been led to go into it, you don't want to jump into it and make a mistake. So if you can tag along with someone who has a vision in line with maybe what you want to do, or what do they call them now, mentors and all of that, then that's fair enough. Everybody might not be a CEO. You'd have people working for that CEO and you have other people supporting. So yes, I have thought of it. I mean, there are things that we think about. Everybody's thinking future. So that's how it is.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I think I love your answer that everybody cannot be CEO. If everybody happens to be CEO, who will not be the ones that will carry the vision along? Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. All right, very quickly, I also want to ask this. Now, how were you able to become visible to the management for them to be able to actually say, oh, this person is fit for this position? What made you valuable in the organization? There must be some attributes, some habits, or some attributes that you have that actually made them to say, oh, this person, I think we want to get this person on board as the GM.
Okay.
Can you just run us through? People can.
Yes. So by the grace of God, in everything I find myself doing, I tend to always want to stand out, not for my own glory, but for the glory of God. So I'm very particular about putting in my best. I'm very intentional. And I mean, of course, that's why I said to the glory of God, because there's some people who are way more intentional than I am and may not have this grace. I know one thing, that I'm favored. God's favor is high upon my life. And it's something that we keep asking for, daily. So it's for the favor of God. Now, I'm very particular about my work. I put in my best. And I mean, if it is worth doing, it is worth doing well. So I'm sure those are the things that the owners of the business may have seen and have thought, oh, let us consider this. A lot of people mention, oh, it's worth it. It is from their own perspective. I don't know what they see, but from my own perspective, I feel like I mean, every owner of a business will want someone who has a heart towards their organization, who has a love towards our organization, and who also keys into their own level of vision too. So they must have seen that and have thought, let's give her a try.
Thank you very much. I need to also ask this. Sorry, it's still actually a follow-up of what I asked earlier. Some in an organization, you will see some especially member or team members will tell you, look, don't kill yourself. It's not a do or die affair. Are you the owner of the organization? Why are you carrying this thing on your head? Have you ever had such when you were actually coming up? Is it your father's business? Why are you carrying this load on your head? Have you ever had such before?
Yes, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that.
How will you able to manage that, man?
It's just when you make up your mind to stand out. When you make up your mind to stand out, nothing will take you away from that plan. The mind is a very strong place. It's a very, very strong place. And that's why, the mind, the heart, that's why the Bible tells you to guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. So if you just allow just about anything come to you, when I started at my organization, a lot of people said all sorts of things. Oh, in this place, you will not grow. You'll be on the same salary for 100 years. Oh, in this place, they will not promote you. Oh, in this place, in short, you will not even marry because you will not be able to have a relationship because you're always going to be working from Monday to Saturday. And guess what? For me, it was totally different. All the things that they had listed as these are the things that you will not be able to achieve, I achieved them, and I even achieved much more. So that's my testimony. So when your mind is set out to do a thing, just follow through with it. Don't listen to, when you start listening to all sorts of things left and right, those are things that kind of make you sink. And you do not want to sink when you're trying to find your feet. So just focus, close out to the negative things. There's a way we know the difference between right and wrong. You know when someone is saying something that is not valid. I know when someone is saying something that is true. And if you have made up your mind to go for the thing that is true, when you hear a negative thing, you just know that is wrong. I'm not going to go with this negative thing. I will follow the truth and I'll follow it to the latter. So that was how I hear all sorts of things. Even up till dates, you still hear a lot of things, but your mind is fixed and you just want to do the work and focus on it and do it well.
Thank you very, very much. This thing is actually, the way you said it now is actually quite easy because you've gone through it. But for young people, young professionals, what do you think would they need to stop doing for them to be able to rise in the organization? From what we have just discussed now, what do you think for young professionals now that are just entry level, that just enter an organization, what do you think they need to stop doing based on what we have discussed now for them to be able to rise and become noticeable in the organization? What habits do you think they need to imbibe?
Okay, so what habits do they need to imbibe? First of all, there's a lot of distraction now in this world, in this Lagos, in this life, in this Nigeria. There's a lot of distraction. There's social media. You could turn on your phone and you're scrolling, and the scrolling just never stops. Those things are distractions. For example, while you're at work, you should be at work 100%. If you say, oh, I have never stolen from my boss, I've never stolen from my organization, you might be lying. And that will mean that there was work time. You probably were watching YouTube videos on your laptop during work time. That's wrong. That is you stealing your boss's time because you're paid for that time. So if you have work to do, even if you don't have work to do, if it appears like you have finished work for the day, and like we say, work not a finish. So even if it's like you have finished work for the day, you still have other things you can think of to, make use of that time that is being paid for. It's not the time for you to start to scroll through social media and watch YouTube videos and use up the organization's internet to run things. No, focus on it. And even if nobody sees you, God sees you. And the truth is, even your organization, the owners of your organization will know that there's something that is not adding up about this person. One person might just, some of our computers are also tracked. So let's see what this person has been doing with our internet over the period, and it's there. Meanwhile, you might be thinking in one corner of the house that, they've not promoted me, but they've noticed these things. They've seen the trends. If you are totally interested in that organization, you would always think about the positives to make that organization grow. You would always think about the things to do to improve that organization, to improve sales, to improve revenue. You will always think about those things. So if you have free time on your hands, it is not to play. It is not to watch videos. It's not to play cards on your computer. It is to put in the thoughts, apply the thoughts. What can I add to make me different? What can I said something at the beginning that I always plan out to be outstanding, and I'm very intentional. I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do it well. not because I want to be known and they should see me. As a matter of fact, many of the things that I've done in my organization have been behind the scene. I don't come out saying, oh, it's me, hello, I'm the one who did this. No, I prefer to even be behind the scene and give it up to my team and say, oh, my team carried this out, and that's okay. Nobody really needs to know how much effort I put into it. But of course, I will put in a lot of effort, but I don't need to come out and start to show it. So a sense of entitlement too is another part. It's not because you have done this, they must give you that. It is your responsibility to do that because you are being paid for that. So if you now decide to go over and beyond what you're expected to do, then you stand out. Even if they do not see you, God sees you, and God can direct their hearts to see you. So it's beyond just complaining and saying, oh, they have not recognized me. Have you put in the work? So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now, for all of you listening to us now, the time that you use to actually check your WhatsApp messages, check your emails while at work, you are actually indirectly stealing from the organization. Whether you don't have to actually steal the funds or the cash. The time you are taking from organization is actually costing the organization something. So these are some of the attributes that you need to actually watch out for. Thank you very much, Ma. That is well noted. Now, Ma, the other question I want to ask is this, Ma. Now, for you growing up in that organization, for you to get to this level, you started from the entry level. Definitely, you have leaders that also lead, that are also the head of your department. Is that not so? Because I always tell people that, look, it's whatever you sow is what you reap. If you want to be a good master, you must be a faithful servant. How were your experiences when you started? How were you able to work with your, I will call it your HODs? What kind of mindset do you have? When you start and say, what kind of mindset do you have when you're actually working with your superiors? What were the things that actually helped you to be able to, in spite of, the challenges around there in the workplace? Of course, we understand the challenges. How were you able to, while you are growing up, how were you able to navigate those ways? For young people watching now, and they have maybe some head of department actually making we say, this man wants to make my life, and he wants to frustrate my life, or this person wants to make me to lose my mind, or my mental health. So how were you able to manage those areas?
Okay. Yes. Well, I started off as a customer relationship officer, and yes, I had team leads and I had managers as I grew through the ranks. So one thing I know that I held very dear to my heart is, as much as you have managers that are managing you, the team member, you also have to manage your bosses. I have a very dear brother who was my manager at the time and has kind of turned to a brother, and he says, your Oga is managing you. You self learn how to manage your Oga. You self manage your Oga. So there are some expectations. There are some things that you expect your manager to tell you. Maybe you don't like the way the manager has spoken and has said, why did you come late or whatever? You too, why did you come late? You know, the kind of things that your Oga does not like. Why did you do it? So it is not a one-sided relationship, manager and team member. It is interwoven. As your Oga is doing this to you, you too do that. What kind of reports do you send to the Oga? Is it a report that will give him a headache? Or one that will say, oh, she has done this work. It's time for me to move it. She has put in the work and it's excellent. So manage your Oga. Your Oga is not the only one that is in the management business. You too manage him. The kind of things your boss wants on the job, provide it. Your boss also. So from what I've said is, I really didn't have any problems with any of my bosses, any of my managers. And I think, of course, then again, it's God's favor because people go through stuff. So I really didn't go through all of that. That's, oh, I have a manager that is affecting my mental health. Because I was just very intentional about my work. I want to get things done before anybody comes to ask me for it. Are you there? I want to get things done before anybody comes to ask me for it. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to be in a position where I am sorry for something. Not like I don't know how to apologize, of course. I know how to apologize, but that I will come and start apologizing that, oh, I was supposed to send in this thing, I didn't send it, I'm sorry, I'm late. No, I don't like to be in that situation. I don't like to be in that situation. So I like to be on time or even ahead of time. So I never had those, and people that have those issues with their bosses are people who don't value timelines or who don't value what's the word now? Who don't value timelines or keeping promises. So if you value timelines and say, oh, this person told me I have to be here at 8, I must be here at 8. Oh, I'm supposed to send this thing on the 31st. I must send it on the 31st or earlier. Not that on the 31st, I will now come and start saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm unable to send it, I need more time. No, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. So we have to learn to be responsible. We have to learn to live up to the expectation or even surpass it. So you don't have any frictions with anybody, any manager or any team lead or supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Learn to manage your oga, even as your oga manages you. Okay, for our international global audience, learn to manage your team heads or your supervisor or your chairman, or is it your MD, whatever it is, or your GM of your organization. You learn to manage the person, and in return, also the person also manages you. So it's a one-on-one situation. You give and you get and you get and you give. So thank you. Learn to manage your oga, and your oga also learn to manage you. Thank you, man. Now let's come to finance, because this is the area most of my audience are actually waiting for. Now, ma, I know for you to rise for a couple of 10, 11 years now, what stood out for you that actually helped you to be able to actually rise to the income level you are now? And what were the things that helped you to be able to, this organization, oh, I've been able to give this value, because I always believe that you must give value to get value. So for you to be able to rise to the level financially, what were the things that stood out for you so that our audience, how they can learn from?
Okay. What were the things that stood out for me? So in October this year, I had just turned 11 years at Cleanis, and that means that I started in 2014. And truth be told, to the glory of God, I have seen growth. I have seen a high level of growth in Cleanis, not just financially, in all areas. I cannot write my story of life without talking about Cleanis. Cleanis is a great place to be. Cleanis is a it's a great place to work. It's a great place to be. If you and the truth is, if you put in the work, you would reap the reward of your work. So, and of course, we know the other side of that sentence. So if you don't put in the work, you know what follows. You have very intentional people at Cleanis, people who are interested in seeing you grow. And for me, I have seen growth. The organization has been very intentional about me, and it's not because there is favoritism or anything. No, it is just God's mercies and God just blessing the works of one's hands. So when this is for everybody who's listening, also for business owners too, you have to also be very particular about your staff. When you're particular about your staff senses it. So there's something called the social exchange theory. One is expecting to receive just as they are given. So one is expecting to receive just as they are given. So you give and you expect. That's what that theory is. It's a social theory. That's what that theory says. So a staff is going to give you much value if you give them certain things. And that's for people who are very particular about things like that. For me, naturally, I am not expecting anything back when I do good. You know, I say to my MD sometimes, it's God's work. I'm doing God's work because I believe that I'm just doing whatever I do for myself and I do for God. You know, so but owners of businesses have to be very mindful of their staff too. Team members, team leads, managers have to be very mindful of their team members too. Check up on that team member, follow up on that person. Oh, how are you today? Oh, you were not able to do this. What happened? Not all the time hounding them. You know, check up how is, so for example, you heard that somebody's wife was ill and you see the person the next day. It's not just to keep up your face and say you didn't come to work yesterday. You already have that information that that person wasn't feeling well. It's for you to say, oh, how are you? How is your wife doing today? Is she better? Is all well? You need any support, you know, and follow up and check up on them, because the more you give to such people, or the more you show your kindness to such people, they also put in their work. So for me, financially, yes, to the glory of God, I have grown from ground one where I was to where I am. Of course, there's still opportunity for more growth, you know, but yes, those are things that for the organization to be mindful of me, I also put some level. I mean, I also put in value as well. So for everyone listening, please add value to that place where you are. It's not just about them adding value to you. Also add value. It's a do me, I do you kind of thing.
Thank you very much. Add value, and in exchange, you get value back in return. Thank you very, very much. Now, as we begin to wind down, now I want to ask you this now. For a young person watching you now, based on what you have gone through, if you are to start all over again, what were the things that you won't do, or the mistakes you made in the past that you would not repeat based on your experiences in clinics or based on your work in clinics? To all our audience out there, what were the things that you know you can, you learn this the hard way, but you know, probably based on what you have learned, you'll be able to now, no, I won't repeat this, or these are the things I will tell my younger one or my younger self that I shouldn't repeat.
Okay. So just be very intentional. So things don't happen by chance. You know, sometimes you might think that, oh, I met this person, or I got this opportunity to partner with a particular organization, and you just think it's by chance. No, nothing happens by chance. Make use of that opportunity. Make use of that opportunity to add value. What else? Basically, just be very intentional. Meet new people, meet a lot of people, grow your network. There are a lot of people. I have met a lot of people, a whole lot of people. Don't just think that, oh, because I'm here, I just want to focus on my thing. Meet people, you know, grow that network, and don't lose those connects. You know, you might just need as you grow up the ladder, as you grow through the ranks, there are different connections that you've made that you need to take you on to through even within the organization where you find yourself, take you on higher, or take you on, you know, to achieve greater things. So don't just think that, oh, this is just about me alone. Naturally, I am an introvert. I like to keep to myself, you know. And one thing I know is, yes, those connects that you have made, don't just think that they don't remember me, I'm shy, I don't want to talk to them. No, talk to them and continue to grow that network and continue to keep in touch so that you don't lose track of any of those things that you have saved.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I know from what I can actually take from what you just said now is, you know, anywhere you are, anywhere you are opportunity to find yourself, you don't shut the door, because you don't know where you need that same door again. These are the things I used to tell most of my team members. If you are going to leave an organization, follow the due process. Don't shut the door. You can never tell when you will need that same door again. Thank you very much. This
Right.
to all audience watching. Thank you, bro. Now, man, this our podcast actually True Lessons in Motion. Now, I want us to now look back. I may have to take you back to memory lane. What were the funny experience you had? That you want, that probably you feel from those experiences, the lessons you have learned, that you want younger people coming up as you grow in the ranks in your organization not to make. The lessons, the mistakes you have made. True lessons that learn from.
True lessons that what?
True lessons that you have made as you grow in your career, that our young audience, our audience watching us now can learn from, especially people that are trying to rise in their career. And I will want a practical perspective so that people can learn from it.
What mistake now? I'm trying to think. Maybe while I'm thinking about that, you want to ask me a next question, because off the top of my head now is it's a bit I don't know what lesson or what mistake I have made. I'm not sure now. I'm not so sure now.
Okay, ma. I know that we are not perfect human beings. Probably,
No,
whether
I'm not
intentional or
perfect.
intentional, you made this mistake. Both. And probably something you feel you want our audience to learn from based on what you have learned and how you're able to overcome their experiences from your work career.
Okay. I'm trying to think of, so the reason why I am not certain, because I want to be sure that it is one that can add value to the audience. Okay, so so let's say, okay, I might not be giving complete information now, but let's say that okay, there was this time I think I was computing something. Computing at the time I had a COO that I was reporting to, and I think I was computing. Okay, I can give two examples. So first, I give two examples. So first, before I talk about the previous one, I started off. I have worked with a manager, a boss who is very particular about external information. So if you're going to give out external information, you have to bounce it off me and be sure that you're communicating right. And of course, that was a good way to ensure that this particular person grows and understands the communication style and how these things go out. And I think there was this one time that I tried to bounce off that conversation with my boss, and I wasn't getting his response. And I just thought to check with other managers around and just to find out whether it was okay. And those ones were like, oh yeah, go ahead. And I went ahead and it's backfired. So if your boss has been particular about you ensuring that things bounce off them before it goes out, please stick to it so that you don't get into trouble. And the second thing is, I was trying to compute some data. I like working with numbers, and I think I made an error, and it kind of affected somebody's salary one way or the other. And by the time I noticed, I was bold enough, without shame, to say, oh, I made an error, please. And I sent a mail. I copied everybody because I'm like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm sorry, I made this error. Please help me pay back, approve that this is going to go back to these people. And yes, even though I got my manager then at the time, who was very understanding us, and he still gave me this eye like, you made a mistake. Well, how dare you? But of course, he understood that everybody is human, and humans could be prone to errors, But it just taught me to be much more thorough with whatever I am going to do. It doesn't matter how small it is. Read it and read it and read it again, and be sure you haven't made an error. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, ma'am. Thank you. To those of you joining us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, this is Mrs. Sheyi, the General Manager of Clean Ace Dry Cleaners. This is a woman that grew from CRO to GM for almost 11 years now. And the fact is, this woman is actually someone you can actually learn from. Actually, I've been opportune to be under her training, and it was quite impactful. So all she's sharing is not just from, it's not braggadocios. She's talking from real life, because most when I send her a message, she does not reply me until at the close of work. So she's,
I'm sorry.
no, when she's talking, I can see that she's actually saying what she is, not just trying to pretend online. Thank you very much for being real and being true to her. Actually, you know, most time I always like to send a message. I will leave you to us in the uniform. I probably check up on you to say, Madam Alpha. Thank you very much. We are, as we begin to wrap up now, I think we need to take messages from our audience. Do you have any questions? Let's have the question quickly so I can ask Mrs. Sheyi. While we're waiting for the question, please, this is True Lessons in Motion podcast. If you have not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe now. Hit the subscribe button so that YouTube can recommend this video to many people out there. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that needs to hear this. Even if you're a business owner, you need to hear this also, because it's about give and take. It's about give and take. You know, there's an adage in Africa that says, you rub my back, I rub your back. If you show concern towards I also show concern towards you. Thank you very much. So please hit the subscribe button now. Share this so that more people can get to hear about it. Thank you. All right. So let's quickly take some questions here, Ma, on the chat. Okay, let's just take some questions. Just hold on. Do we have questions there now?
Somebody asked,
Let me see.
hey, okay.
Okay, there's a question here that says, but organization is supposed to have a role and impact in the lives of their staff so the staffs can work wholeheartedly. What do you have to say to that, man? Organization is supposed to have a role, or is supposed to have an impact in the life of their staffs so that their staff also can be able to work with them wholeheartedly.
Yes. Organizations are supposed to have that. I think I kind of spoke about that in the course of our conversation earlier. Like I said, organizations should also care and be interested and particular in the well-being of their staff too. So you have your own role to play as an organization, as a CEO of an organization, just as much as the staff has their role to play. I know that the CEOs might say, "Oh, but I'm paying you to get the job done." Yes, you know, the staff who has woken up in the morning at say 4 o'clock to go to work has already started thinking about work as early as 4 a.m., even though they are not yet at your organization. So if you bear in mind that, the entire work and life of this person has to just balance out with this organization to get the best out of them, I think is worth doing and is important. So don't just care about work. Also put in some element of life and try to think of, you know, what that staff goes through outside of work and whether or not they are balanced. So I think it will go a long way to support and to stabilize that organization.
All right, thank you very much. I think there's still another question here also. The question here says, for a CEO, as a leader for an organization, now, are you supposed to show concern concerning, apart from salary, concerning the health, the insurance of your team members?
Yes, you should.
Is an
You should
organization
show
supposed to,
concern. Yes, you should
Can
show
you-
concern.
can you quickly expatiate on that, man?
You should show concern. Yes, you know. So when I say show concern, it depends on what level you want to get to in that concern. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you are going to go all out. That is maybe 100% or whatever. It might be, your concern might just be whatever you want to define concern as. It might be 50% of whatever. It might be, oh, I have the opportunity to give you a loan facility for whatever your need is and allow you to pay back over a period of time, at no interest. That's you showing concern, because nobody's going to get a no interest loan anywhere else.
Okay.
So if that organization says,
Thank
I
you
want to
very-
show concern, then you can get. So concern could be anything, really, but you should show concern about the external life, the external affairs of that staff. You should show concern.
All right. Thank you, member. Now, I'm now speaking as an entrepreneur. I also have team members. Now, what if you show concern to your team members? This is a follow-up of the question I just asked you. And you've actually equipped them by training. And after they are back from the training and you have invested so much on them, and they jackpot to the next organization for higher increase and higher pay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say to that. We'll have these challenges also.
Yes, we have these challenges, but that does not mean you should stop training. You should continue to train. I recently learned that, it's a saying, I can't remember who said this, but the worst thing that can happen to an organization is not you training the staff and they leaving. The worst thing that can happen is actually you keeping the staff and not training them, and they not improving, because your organization will not get any better. It will not get any better. They will just be as good as what they knew last. They will not be as good as the next things coming. So in spite of jackpot and brain drain and all of that, and staff being ungrateful, for example, you just keep training, because you just want the best for your organization. The best for your organization is not a function of how many people you've trained and how many people have left and all. There is still going to be a lot of people that will come, and you still keep on training to get the best for that your business, that baby that you're nurturing and you're growing. So keep at it, keep training.
Thank you very, very much. Because I needed to ask you this question, because we have these challenges also in our organization, where you have to actually spend time and effort to train people. All right. Then the other question I want to ask you as we begin to round up now is, Nama, what is your advice to our audience out there? That is to say, if you are to... We have a question? we are channel. Let's quickly take the question, please. Just hold on, ma'am. We have another question. Just hold on. Just hold on. So what if you try your best to show your kindness to company organization, but it shows that nothing is working out at a point? What do you do? Another question again. I don't
If
think
you
I
show
should
your
this question.
best,
There are a lot of questions, but hold on. We have another 2 questions that popped up. Yes.
so you said if you show your best and what?
When you try to put in all your best to the organization, you're giving it your best, but it seems nothing seems to be working out for you. I think you are not climbing, or you are not just rising in that, but you keep putting in your best. You are consistent. What do you do?
Don't stop trying. That's one. And two, you have to be sure. Is it that it is only from your own lens that you think you are putting in the best? From the lens of the organization, does it mean that you are putting in the best? Does it also say that you are putting in the best? Organizations do appraisals and they give you feedback. Oh, with respect to these things you've done over the last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, this is it. If you are thinking that only from your own perspective you are putting in the best, it's not balanced. So you also have to hear from the organization's feedback. Are you really putting in the best? Because if you are indeed putting in the best, then you should see the reward. The Bible also tells us, I'm sorry if we don't have Christians on this audience, but the Bible says, have you seen a man who is diligent? He would not stand before mere men. He will stand before kings. So you cannot be diligent and be unseen. You will be seen. So you want to check again that that's your best that you think you are doing. You want to be sure that it is truly the best, because you cannot be doing truly the best and be ignored, except God is just trying to teach you something that you need to learn, because everything happens for a reason. So there might be something you want to learn and God is taking you somewhere. In everywhere we find ourselves, you have to learn what to be and what not to be. So maybe that's God's way of teaching you that you self, when you have your own organization and you see somebody putting in the best, be sure to notice them, and be sure to let them reap the reward of putting in the best, so that they will not go through what you have gone through. And on the other side, also check that you are really putting in the best, to be sure that you're on the same page with that organization. I think that's what I think.
I think you've answered the question very, very well. Okay, I think I need to take two in one question so that I can release you to go now. I don't think we can take any more questions from the audience. I don't think we can cut off time, please. So, in summary, now, how do you stay relevant and keep going in an economy that is changing very fast? That is one. It's two in one question, please. Just hold on, man. Then the last one is, looking at your life now, if you are to advise a young person trying to start up in an organization, for the person to be able to grow to the height you have gotten to, just give us 1, 2, 3 things you think the person should be able to start doing, or the habits the person needs to start working on, and the mindset for the person to be able to rise to that level you have gotten to. Those are the two in one questions.
Okay. So your first question was, how do you stay relevant in an economy that is going really fast? You just have to keep learning. Continuous learning is very key. Continuous learning is very, very key. You have to also have very strong fundamentals. Be disciplined. Be very disciplined. Think of ways you can solve problems. There's always a problem to solve. Be a problem solver. It's not just about raising, there's a problem here and you're keeping quiet. Think of, how can I solve this problem? If you're thinking problem solving, you would always be relevant, because people will see you as, let me take my problems to this person. There'll always be a solution that will come out of this conversation. You have you just have to have something that you're looking forward to. If you have a goal that you have set your mind to achieve, then you will do everything you can to ensure that that thing that you want achieved is achieved. So you will not stay put, or you would not just stay at mediocre level. You would always ascribe for the best. So that's a way to ensure that you stay relevant. And then if I was to speak to young adults who are starting life, or going through how did you put the question? Please help me rephrase that. I'm trying to
the question
find their feet,
is, if you are to advise your yes. Can you hear me, ma? Or I should repeat the question, ma?
Yes, you can repeat the question.
Okay. I said, if you are to start all over again, now a young person that is trying to start in an organization, what are the advice to have for a young person trying to start up as a new graduate starting in any organization, for him or her to be able to grow to the ranks of leadership? Based on what you have done? What are the habits, the mindset, and the things the person needs to begin to put into check?
Okay. So one of the things that has shaped me is discipline. Discipline in small things that are very unseen, small things. Discipline in little things. If you're faithful in little, you'll be faithful in much. Yes, be very disciplined. If you are supposed to show up early, make sure you show up early. If you're supposed to send in something early, make sure you send that thing in early. Even you have to prepare when nobody is watching. I remember the first time I had a presentation in my uni days in 300 level. There's something we used to do in Unilag. You have seminars, and I remember standing in front of the mirror weeks before my presentation and taking it again and again and again and again and talking confidently so that I was going to speak in front of my professors, and that was me being preparing when no one was watching. And of course, at the end of it, I came out tops in that presentation. So prepare even when nobody's watching, plan, and then you have to do your tasks thoroughly. Not every time one manager is complaining about something, just do your task. Make sure you carry them out thoroughly, no matter how trivial or insignificant that task is. You may think it's insignificant, but it's very key. So just do it well. And over time, you'll see that this consistency begins to open doors for you, and you grow through the ranks. You just find out that you're on top and you're wondering how, but you just realize it's the little things that you did that mattered, and you focusing full time on the job. Remember, don't steal from your bosses. Don't steal their time. Your time has been paid for. Make sure you use it for your boss that you are working for. Even as business owners, don't steal from your time. Don't steal the time that you are using to, do things that don't matter. You could use it to, contact one or two people. You could do partnerships. You could do collaborations. Think long term, not just now. Save your time and do stuff that will bring value. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think there are some more questions. It's come 2 more questions. Because of time, we have to release Madam Sheikh. I've actually told that 1 hour. We've actually spent over 1 hour. We have 2 more questions. We can't take them. Sorry for those of you watching us live on YouTube. This is Mrs. Sheyi, the General Manager of Clean Ace Dry Cleaners. Please, we may have to probably send the feedback to you through either our social media platform. Please, we can't take any more questions because of time. Please, if you are getting value, if you are getting value from this, please hit the subscribe button. Share this so that more people can get to know about this platform. Madam Sheyi, thank you once again. Your final advice before we release you, ma. For our young entrepreneurs, and dream chasers, those are our focus constituencies. So what is your advice? Final word.
Put your total trust in God and let God just guide you. God's way is always the best way. Let God guide you wherever you find yourself. Put in your best. Put in your very best. Don't do anything shabbily. Do things well. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So far, so good. If you are just joining us, we have actually learned a lot today. This is actually a master class. Let me quickly give you the summary of what we have learned today. Family life help to shape her to what she is. Keep consistent. Make up your mind to put in the work. Plan out to be outstanding and be intentional in what you do. Grow your network intentionally. Be a problem solver. Don't steal from your boss or don't steal from your company. You don't have to steal money. The time you are spending to watch WhatsApp, free Wi-Fi, you're actually stealing from the organization. And also, the boss also should not steal from their staffs. I think it's a vice versa thing. Now, discipline,
Yes.
being thorough, and trust in God. Madam Sheyi, once again, thank you for joining us. We are so delighted to have you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, ma. Please, I don't know how to tell you thank you. Let's all say thank you to Madam Sheyi. Thank you very, very much, ma. Thank you. Do have a wonderful time. Once again, if you are just joining us, this is True Lessons in Motion podcast. Please don't forget, by next week Sunday, we'll be having another session with great Palmer's MD. This is a man that has over 30 filling stations. And the man has accepted to teach us on how to start small and grow big. I started from 1 filling station, now having over 30 filling stations and having over 500 staff. Next week, Sunday, 30th of November, 6 p.m. is a time you can't afford to miss it. Please be around and be part of this great transformation that is taking place. Thank you very much, madam, once again. Please, for those of you just listening to us now on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, please, we are starting the MEI Inner Circle, and that's actually a platform for mentorship. If you want to join that, please just send I want to join, and we add it to the WhatsApp. We'll send you the WhatsApp, and we add it to our WhatsApp group. It's a mentorship session where we will teach you how to probably grow in mindset, develop the skills you need, increase your income, and also be able to move forward in your finances. It's a platform for mentorship. mindset, leadership, self-development, and wealth creation. So if you want to join, please just send us a message and say, I want to join. We'll add it to WhatsApp. Once again, Madam Shea, thank you once again for joining us. I'm so delighted to have you. Thank you, ma. And have a
Thank you.
wonderful time. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And those of you on YouTube, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful time. Thank you. Please share this